Hey, it's snack time! Are you ready for some calorie-free snacks with our beautiful, chunky journal from Nadia? This is really at a point where it is super interesting to work in here. I have my page picked out, which is somewhere middle-ish. Here it's the back side of the December page. And today is one of those very rare times where I pretty much have an idea of what I'm going to do. And for that, I need 3 pages in total. So I'm going to use the back of this and this and this. And I figured this might be a good way to consolidate some of the pages in here. If you've watched the first episode of my decluttering series, I will link that below for you, then you will have seen these here, which I was trying to organize. And I would love to start finding places in my personal journal for the things I have made. And I thought this here would be a great spot for this one. I actually have a digital with these. I will link that for you below. But the colors are perfect for this journal because yellow, this golden yellow, is exactly one of my colors that I want to feature here. So my plan is to add this here like a tag, and I want to be able to pull it out, which means that I need to stiffen up the back. So I will add some cardstock, and then I need like a tab or something on top, which will make it easier to pull out. And then the idea is to glue this page together with that one so that this sticks out here. And then I want to make a hole here so that the bird can peek through. And then I'm going to glue these 2 together, and I want to make an even bigger hole on this one and then add some interest to this page. I hope that makes sense. So I want to start off by backing this with some cardstock. So if you feel that your journal is getting so chunky and you need to figure out a way to consolidate some pages, maybe this is an option for you. So I have this cardstock here. I want this on the back. So I will cut out a piece that will fit here, which is a little more narrow than my fabric strip because I don't want any of this peeking out. Going to ink up the edges with my walnut stain. Actually, using the digital version would be a great option because, of course, you have a lot less bulk because this is already quite bulky as it is. But, of course, having the extra texture is really nice as well. Now, obviously, I could just glue this on the back, but since I have some machine stitching here, I am going to machine stitch this as well. I think I'll just add a little bit of glue stick in the middle so that it's easier to stitch without it moving around. Since I had black thread in my machine, I just used that and I went around it once with a small straight stitch. And now it has the firmness that I need to be able to pull it in and out of a pocket. So now let's look into adding a tab on the top. I have this jar with upholstery fabric scraps, and I think this has pieces of the same fabric that I used here underneath the owl image. Yeah, this looks like it would be a perfect piece. So this is exactly that. So I can just sew or glue that right on top like this. And that will make it much easier to pull out. And that will also enable me to have the owl a little farther down in the page so that the hole won't be all the way at the top. So again, I'll just take this to my sewing machine and sew right through there. Okay, so now we have our tab attached as well. Of course, if you wanted to make your journal more bulky, another thing you could do is when you sew or glue the cardstock on, you could just leave one side open so that becomes a pocket again. Okay, so this fits here perfectly. So now I want to shut this pocket by gluing here and here. Unfortunately, this page here, as you can maybe see, is a little bit shorter. I wish it was the same length, but that will just have to do. So I'll add some glue here. And then I'll add it here. And then close this up. I should have maybe made the hole first, I'm just realizing. Oh well. So let's stick this in here so that I know where the face of the owl is. So now for the tricky part of tearing that hole. I don't really know where the face is. This is going to be interesting. And hopefully I won't cut into, into the tag. Is there a better way to do this? Probably is. I guess it's going to be around here. That will give me an idea. And maybe I will do this without the tag being in there. So I'll just cut a hole here for now. Now I'll kind of try to tear out a roundish shape. Okay, let me put this inside so that I know what I'm working with. Okay, so the head is there. That's good. We can definitely make this a bit bigger. And now I want to bend back some of these edges. So this is kind of like what I've done with my Urban Nature Junk Journal. Maybe you've seen it there. I've done that with the hand stamped tree, and then I sewed around this. So unfortunately I cannot sew around this because that's not gonna go into my sewing machine. Okay, I like this. I do want to ink this up. So I'll just take my espresso. Maybe I'll take this out. Not my espresso, my walnut stain. Still not used to that one. And now, this is very close to the top of this page. So this is going to be very difficult to actually make a hole, which is bigger, which won't tear through the top. I should have thought this through a little better. Let's just go for it. I'm going to do this time before gluing it. Well, actually, you know what I should do? If I want this page decorated, I should probably first do that before I tear my hole. And I think one paper that would fit so well is this one here. When we look at these colors together, isn't that gorgeous? So this is one of the papers that I had left from my most recent kit, the Boho Birds, which was my March journaling and planner kit. I will link that for you below as well. So this is one of my 2 plain pages that I add to the kit. So this was one, and this is the second one. But I think I really like the coloring of this one. So I'm going to tear this here. Then I'll ink up those edges as well with my walnut stain. Usually I would only add glue to the edges when I'm gluing a page down like this. But of course in this case, since we'll be tearing it, I put some glue stick on the whole page. Okay, I just changed my mind of what I'm going to do. Because first of all, I love this together and I don't really want to cut a big hole into this. And the second problem is that it's just not going to look great because of the placement, because this is so far on the top. It's just going to look weird if I try to make another circle right up here. So we're not going to glue these together. So we need to do something with this page. I think first of all, I want to glue these bigger torn pieces down, hoping that they won't tear so easily. And then I just saw this laying on my desk. This was a test print of one of the Boho Birds pages. And I have this dream catcher here, which actually might be perfect to go around this hole. So I wanted to see how that looks. Obviously, this is also printed at 50%, which seems to work perfectly for this page by coincidence. And I never know what to do with these test pages anyway, so this is perfect if I can use them in my journal. So I want to cut this out and I'll cut a hole in the middle as well. I actually think it's kind of funny, the one time I have kind of like a picture in my mind of what I want, so I have to improvise again, which is fine. And now I realize that I shouldn't have glued those bits down yet because I could have glued them around my dream catcher. So I'm trying to gently lift them up again. Okay, I managed to get most of them off. So will this fit? Yeah, I think it will. So I definitely need to ink up those edges as well. Maybe I will even cut into this a little bit more so that I can define the edges more. And then I need to figure out what else to put on this background. Since these colors are so faint, I want to see if I can bring them out a little bit more by adding some water-soluble colored pencils. Okay, I think that looks a lot better already. Let's see what else we can add to the page. I could add some stenciling with feathers. That might look cute to just have them kind of come down longer here, like they're in the background. The colors I want to use here are my wild honey and the rusty hinge, which will give me like this orangey color. I don't have anything in this like purpley pink range. Maybe I'll use the vintage photo. Oh, I'm just remembering something. I do actually have this tiny one of the Victorian velvet. I have different sizes here. Let's start with this one. So let's try the Victorian velvet. I unfortunately don't have individual brushes for every color, so I'm just going to work with whatever comes out here now. Not much at all, as it seems. I think this Victorian velvet has seen better days. I think I will mix it with my vintage photo to get a stronger color. I'm going to try the rusty hinge next. Maybe I'll turn it around so that it doesn't necessarily look like the same feather. Next, I want to try the wild honey. I'll make this one the longest one. You could do this with acrylic paints as well, if you don't have the inks or the oxides. Or you could just draw them actually, or paint them. I want some more here, like a small one. I'll use the wild honey again. We'll add another small one here. Maybe have that overlapping a little bit, the other feather. And I'll use my vintage photo for this, just because I want a little bit of color variation. Maybe we'll do another one overlapping, but maybe a small one. I'll use the rusty hinge for this one. I'm loving this. This is so cute. What an unexpected page. Those are the best. Oh my goodness, this is so adorable. I don't want to outline them, but I think I do want like maybe just the shaft defined a little bit more. So I'm going to use my walnut brown colored pencil. I mean, it's water soluble, but that's irrelevant. Just to have that middle kind of come out more. Now, of course, since I started, I'm wondering if I should just like draw a few lines to make them look more feathery. Maybe just to define some of the feathers. Very lightly, very sketchy. And now I'm ready to glue this down. And now I'll again glue down these bits that I already had glued down before. Then I feel like it needs to hang on something, right? It shouldn't just be floating in the air. So I'm just going to make it look like it's hanging. And then maybe we need to add some more accents on it to make this like a really fun dream catcher. You know what I'm seeing? I have these little wooden birds. Maybe I can make these work. And also add some color to them. Maybe I have another one. Oh, there's a small one. Oh, that's cute. Maybe we can add some wild honey to make them stick out a bit more. Let's just rub this on here and see if that works. That's okay. Definitely sticks out more. Yeah, that's cute. So I'll just glue those down before I overthink it. I'm just realizing I wanted to consolidate 3 pages so that I wouldn't be making more bulk, and look at me, I'm adding so much more bulk. I think I'm just gonna have to accept that this is just gonna keep getting bulkier. I feel like it needs something up here. What do we have? Oh, we have this big green one. That's like a whole new color on this page, which kind of makes it pop. Oh, I like that. That is very pretty. We will keep that one in mind. And then we have like this mint green sequin. We have a turquoise sequin. No, I think I already have my heart set on this one. Yep, I'm just gonna do it. But what I could also maybe do is add some of these small sequins. Or do I want them on the feathers? To accent the feathers a bit more instead of the wreath? Yeah, I think I like that version better. So I'll just glue those down. After gluing those on, I realized I need to put bling also on the stenciled feathers, because this way it just looks more like it's one thing rather than one on top of the other. You know what I mean? So now it really looks like one piece. I want some more interest on the background here. And I found this stencil from Tim Holtz. I don't know the name or the number. Unfortunately, it doesn't say here. It has this crackling effect together with this brick wall, but I want to use this crackling effect. And since I have this green here now, I thought, why not add some more green? And I think I might try a combination of the crackled pistachio and the frayed burlap. So I'll kind of just try to mix those as I kind of go along. So now I have a feeling it looks finished. What do you think? I think the crackling in the background just adds a whole nother look to it, and I like it. It looks a lot more boho this way even. So super unexpected result, which is always the best. We have this fabric tag. I can still do some journaling on the back. And I just love this fun boho pocket. So if you've enjoyed this video, maybe you will also enjoy this one right here. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.